guys, this is Heather with Book Junkie, and today I'm going to be reviewing The Book of Lost Names by Kristin Harmel. I haven't read one of her books before, but I will say this book is very similar, kind of, towards The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna, which is a very well-known book, a really good book, and so is this one. She is also the author of The Winemaker's Wife, which I haven't read, but I really want to, especially after reading this book. And this book is a historical fiction with a little bit of romance in there. It was set during World War II, and I'm going to be giving this book a 5 out of 5. This is my first book that wasn't a Colleen Hoover book that I'm giving a 5 out of 5 to. So this really is a good read. Now, like I said, this book is set during World War II. I do love my World War II books, and I also found that this book is inspired by a true story, so I found that very interesting. Now, this book is about this woman named Ava. During 1942, she is living in Paris with her family, and that is just about the time when the Nazis are starting to invade Paris. And Ava and her parents are Jews, so when this happens, they need to escape to the Free Zone, which is this mountainy village area that they have heard about. Unfortunately, her father is arrested and caught, and so it's just Ava and her mom that get to escape towards the Free Zone. In this village and Free Zone area, Ava finds that she is really good at forging false identity papers, and some people notice that, and so they kind of recruit her to make these false papers for children and other people to try to help them escape to Switzerland. And Switzerland is obviously neutral, and so she is recruited to make these false papers, and she's working with this guy named Remy, and they're working side by side. They start to develop a romance towards each other, but Remy isn't a Jew, and so her mom just disapproves of Ava working with this guy. She's like, you're not with your culture, you're losing everything, but Ava just continues to do it and just isn't listening to her mother. So while they're making these false identity papers, Ava obviously has to switch the names of these children just so they can make it there safe. Yet that doesn't seem right to Ava. She doesn't like changing people's names. And so she creates this idea of having they use one of these old church books. It's a really big church book. No one would ever look into it. And Remy and Ava, they have this secret code that they put in there where they use the child's real first name towards the front of the book. Each of them has a page. And then at the end of the book, they use that same code and they write in the child's false name that they gave them, so that they get to preserve their identity, they get to preserve their names, because these children, they're so young that they might not even remember who they are, where they came from. So that is really important to Ava, so that's why she created this book, and it is called The Book of Lost Names. So eventually the Germans go and overrun the town that she is in. Even though it's a free zone, the Germans, Nazis, they don't care. They want to find all the Jews. So Ava has to go and run for her life yet again. And she is really upset about this because she has to leave the Book of Lost Names behind. She has to leave Remy, everyone she's ever known in the village, behind. And she and Remy would put in these secret messages for each other, and she'll never know the answer to the last secret message she wrote in the Book of Lost Names for him, and she is just fleeing. This book also goes from 1942 to 2005, and that is when Ava is grown, she's elderly, and she's living in Florida, and she's working at a library, and in the newspaper she finds that there is this German librarian who has found various books that were taken from the Nazis during the war, and this German librarian wants to find the rightful owner of each of the books. So there's a newspaper article about that, and the big picture on the newspaper article is this German librarian with her Book of Lost Names, and she is like stunned that someone has found this book. And she's like, I need to see this book. I need to see if Remy ever saw my secret message. I need to see if he wrote back. And so she goes back to Germany for the first time since World War II and goes and finds this book. I pretty much liked everything about this book. It is such a page turner. It really does have so much history behind it about World War II. I'm interested in it because I couldn't imagine a world like this, and so I want to read about it and really understand what people went through during this time. One thing that I really didn't like about this book, and it's not really the book, it's one of the characters. Probably my least favorite character of this book is Ava's mom. She is very, I don't even know the word to describe her, but when they are fleeing, Ava is trying to be the bigger person and like, okay, come on, mom, we have to go, we have to go. And Ava's mom is like, we can't leave your father behind. We have to go to get your father. You have to do everything by your culture. Who are you turning into? And it's just every time they have a conversation, she's just like yelling at Ava, being rude to Ava. And I'm like, Ava's doing so much. She's helping so many children be safe and cross the border. And so sometimes I just wanted to like close the book and just like scream at her mother because she just made me so mad sometimes. But that is also why this book is so good, because you really get to know all the characters and you really get to like live in this time. And I love it. I want everyone to read this book. Please go get this book. You won't regret it. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you like it, hit that like and subscribe button so you can see more. And feel free to leave those book recommendations in the comments. Thank you guys so much. Bye.